What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the channel. Welcome back to Dylan Talks Tone, the Just Gonna Say It podcast every Tuesday at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. And it is nice to see everybody here. This has been a crazy week on the old YouTubes. So we have some fun. We have an interesting thing today. It's never happened to me in 11 years of doing this. Before we get into it, I want to say that this is obviously a live podcast. We shoot these live every Tuesday at 4 p.m. We do have a pre-recorded portion of this one in case you show up late and end up wondering if this is live or not, but we will be in the chat, so that's cool. They are ad-free, okay? So we leave the ads off while they're live. That way you can hang out and not have to deal with that while you watch them. If you want to support the channel, you can use a super chat to ask a question. I will be, there's going to, like I said, we'll get into it in a minute, but anyway, I'll be here the whole time. So you can ask questions if you want, and then you can use a super chat. We will drop what we're doing. We'll answer that question right away. However, it is a video, so I'm not going to, there is a little bit of a video here, so I'm not going to stop it for that. The other thing is that you can use super thanks afterwards. If you see this, and I don't know if you know this or not, super thanks is a thing. It's like a super chat, but not in live videos. And I see those. So if you have a question on a video and you're like, well, there's 7,000, not 7,000, maybe there's 70 comments on this video, you'll never see this. If you use a super thanks, it sends me a notification and I will go and answer it. So yeah. So it's sort of like a super chat for not live. Anyway, I don't know if you knew that or not. So I want to talk about this, something is really, really interesting. We, have been shooting videos. We've been doing this stuff for about 11 years. And of course, we've had our share of conversations with people in the comments over the last 11 years. We've also, we've got what 1,500 videos, something like that. And for those of you that are new to the channel, we make pickups for a living. That's what my real job is. So, when we have a video like what we had the other day, this rarely happens to me, where we have a video that has like thousands and thousands of views on one video. What'll happen is a lot of people who don't normally follow the channel will find the channel that day and they'll either agree with or disagree with, and there ends up being a lot of noise in the comment sections of those types of videos. It's probably happened to me a half a dozen times out of 1,500. I don't really have any videos with bajillions of views on them. So, but this was one of them. I mean, there was some crazy stuff. There was a guy making like racist comments. There was some people telling me that I didn't deserve to be married. There was some people, I mean, it was gnarly. Pretty funny, actually. I find it entertaining. But one of the things I've always maintained, let's see, Dylan, is this going to be your biggest video ever? Oh, no, absolutely not. No. And we're going to get into this afterwards, why I probably will never do a video like this again. So I'm not going to talk about it right now because I think what you're about to see is going to explain a lot of it. But what I will say is this. One of the things that I've always done, and you've heard me say it before, and I've said it in comment sections and I've said it everywhere. If you ever, want to challenge what we do or how we do it, but want to have like an intelligent conversation about it, hit me up. I will totally do it. I'm not going to like go back and forth in a comment section over and over and over because you just lose too much, right? It just doesn't make sense. And I don't have time for it. And honestly, I don't have time for a million people hitting me up in the email in the next 2 days being like, well, I want to have my own one of these. This is kind of a special circumstance. Anyway, I was having a conversation with the guy. His name is 3-Chord Dave. He's probably in the chat today. If you see him, say hello and go check out his YouTube channel. I didn't know he had a YouTube channel when we did this, but I found out later that he does. It's a small one. He's got some stuff. It's cool. So check him out. Anyway, his name is 3-Chord Dave. He should be in there somewhere. I think he's from Ireland. And he challenged. He was like, a lot of people called me a liar, is what it comes down to. And I ignored most of it. I blocked the most hateful of it. But this guy was like actually trying to understand. And I said, if you want to have a real conversation about it, just like I just said, let's do it. And he said, okay. And I said, hit me on the chat on the website. We'll set it up. So we did this yesterday. So the first, and I've always offered this and nobody's ever done it. In 11 years, nobody's ever had the balls to be like, you know what? I want to have a real conversation about this because I want to call you out about this and let's have a conversation. Sounds awesome. Let's do it. So that's what you're about to see. And when this, Dave knows 2 more chords than I do. He uses more frets than you too, Matt. So we're gonna watch this. I want you to watch this, and then we'll talk about it afterwards, and we'll fill in some gaps. And if this, and here's what I'll say too, if this brings up some questions for you, put them in the chat. You can use a super chat or whatever. I'm not going to stop this to answer it, but we will make sure we answer them afterwards because I want you to have a fair shake at it as well. So let's rock and roll this thing.
Perfect. I'll just go ahead and play it. We'll just play the whole thing. Um, Uncut tomorrow, which is no big deal. How's it going?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. So
All
I
right.
guess
Cool.
yeah. All right. So I don't know what we're doing. So this is kind of your thing. So feel free to just hit me with whatever. I don't know what you.
Yeah. Okay. So look, I'm not here to shit on your channel or anything like that. I'm obviously not in a position to do such a thing. I'm not here to cause an argument. I just feel um, like obviously I made a comment on your video about the Temu guitar.
Mhm.
Just saying that it was unlikely that you wouldn't know that a Temu guitar of a Gibson shape would likely have Gibson written on the headstock because it's
Yeah.
2025. If it was 2014, like you and I both work as creators in the YouTube guitar space, we see these things, man. We know. All right. Now, and by the way, I want to point out, I have no problem with that whatsoever. Like, I have no problem with people buying Temu guitars and using them to make videos and stuff like that, and then shooting them up or doing whatever they do. But it just felt watching the video that the best way to do would be like, I had an idea this would be a Gibson logo on the headstock because everyone knows that's where they come from.
Yeah. Okay. So um, how much of my content have you seen?
Um, I would say not a lot in recent years, but I used to watch it quite a bit
Okay.
back, yeah, back years ago.
Okay.
So recently, not as much.
Okay. So one of the things that if you there's a couple of things. One of the things is that if you watch any of my stuff at all, uh, we are, I am extremely against counterfeit stuff. That goes to my other hobbies. I collect fountain pens,
Mm,
I collect pocket knives, I collect all kinds of stuff. So I don't screw around with counterfeit stuff ever. Um, and one of the things you'll also know if you follow the channel at all is that I don't screw around with cheap guitars. Um,
mm,
Anything off brand. So I'm very I feel very strongly about this that sticking with the main brands, so like Squire and PRS SE and basically that kind of stuff, like the import version of the bigger brands is a wiser move for even
sure.
beginner guitar players because it's an aspirational thing and they can grow into the brand as they go, right? Like that's kind of why the brand exists. Therefore, I do not associate myself at all. Like I've never um, reviewed a Harley Benton, a Firefly, any of that crap. I don't care about any of it. I don't want any of it. I don't want to use any of it. I have no interest in it whatsoever. Um, and so,
Mm,
as a result of that, my channel for the last 11 years has gotten the reputation of I just don't goof around with that stuff. And then, so on top of that, the other thing is that this may be hard for you to believe, but I don't watch guitar YouTube. Um, I'll tell you who I do watch. Well, Texas Toast Guitars, because they're friends of mine. And we do a lot of collaboration stuff. I'll watch Phil McKnight. sometimes because he and I talk from time to time, and so I'll catch up on some of his stuff. But other than that, I don't watch guitar YouTube, and I do it. It's intentional, so that I don't know what's going on. I don't like to have the influence of. So, for example, you know that like when a guitar comes out, you see it in your feed. Like, let's say PRS comes out with a guitar, there's a million of those videos, right? Like, I don't care about any of that stuff. So we don't get anything for free from anybody. We don't do. We're like, I am like completely in my own little bubble over here. I don't pay attention
Sure.
to any of it, and it's intentional because I want that like authenticity of okay, I'm gonna go try something. Let's do it. So when it came to this guitar, actually. Uh,
Mhm.
of course, I hate Temu. I think Temu's stupid. I first of all, I will never buy anything from them again. This is the first time I've ever used it. I do not have the app on my phone. I have nothing. So the my exposure to this guitar literally was scrolling on Facebook and saw the body of it and was
Right.
like, huh, this would be a fun video because like the cheapest one against the most expensive one would be sort of an interesting video for me because
I
I've
agree.
never done this cheap stuff before. I was like, piqued my curiosity. $212. I literally yelled across the living room, "Hey, hun, you have the app on your phone. Can you go ahead and order that, and I'll just PayPal you the money?" She's like, "Yeah, no problem." 3 days later, it shows up, and we open it on the video. I had no idea. It literally that was the evolution of that. Like I get, you didn't give it any thought because I don't think about this stuff. I'm just not. I just don't care about it enough to even go. I wonder if it would be. Uh,
So Dylan, let me ask you,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah,
I I want to preface this, right? I,
yeah,
as I said, I don't watch a lot of your content. Similar reasons to yourself. I don't watch an awful lot of guitar YouTube anymore,
yeah,
as much as I used to say, because as a creator, plus also I'm quite busy. I don't spend a lot of time. That's not important. But from what I have watched of your stuff, I can tell that you're quite an intelligent person, right? You're not stupid.
yeah,
You know a lot about the business. You know a lot about the industry. You also know how to get clicks on videos, right? Which is important. And there's nothing wrong with. I'm not saying this is what you did. I'm just saying there's nothing wrong with making a video with the purpose of this will do well, like cheapest against more
yeah,
expensive or whatever, right? Just we could have a different argument about Harley Benton and those kind of brands about their usefulness in the market and stuff, but
yeah, yeah,
that's
yeah. That's a
a
different
philosophy of day.
conversation. Yeah,
But in this case, man, listen, as I said, I know you're not stupid. You're not naive to how things work. You know, Temu, if it looks like a Gibson, it's gonna say something similar on the headstock. You
it
know that
didn't.
because
It
there's no
didn't.
way in 2025, man. If it was 2014 or 2015, even up to 2016, you would know that if I'm buying a guitar that has a Gibson body shape for 200 and something bucks, it's gonna be a counterfeit. And also, I mean,
If I had any,
one of
if
your
I had
big issues
any
you made about
inkling.
Harley Benton was that they were copying brands too much, so
Hmm.
that you wouldn't support them any like, or you wouldn't talk about them. I
Exactly.
remember specifically
Yeah,
saying that it was because of them doing that, like getting too
yeah,
close to those brands and ripping them off.
yeah,
So
exactly.
it looks a little bit hypothetical, or sorry, hypocritical that you would say that about one brand, but then see a guitar that's cheap that looks like a Gibson and say, "Oh, I'll buy that to make a video about it." Now, the other thing is, I'm not opposed to that. I have no problem with that. I think it's actually quite a good video idea. But if you're going to do that with one brand, you should also keep that philosophy across. Oh well, yeah, it would might be an interesting video, but it's not for me to do because I've already counted out these other brands that make similar things. I would imagine that would be a logical conclusion. And also, you know, Chibsons, you know, fakes exist, you know where they come from. Two and two together. As I said, you're a smart dude. You should have been. I think you knew, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I'm just saying, if you had said in that video, I thought this would be a fun video to do to compare them. I knew there was a likelihood that it could come with the wrong headstock, or it might not. But the likelihood is, the high probability was that it would. I'm disappointed it came with it, but I knew it. There was a chance.
Yeah.
But in
So
the video, it comes across like you have no idea.
I had no idea, and I will 100% die on that hill, and here's why. If I had any inkling of it at all whatsoever, I would not have done it because I don't care about clicks that much. I would not have put intentionally on my channel in any form a counterfeit guitar. 100%. I will
So then why post the
never
video?
because I did it live. It was like I had to keep it authentic. That's literally why I did it that way. So let me tell you the only mistake I made with this. The only
Okay,
mistake I made with this was usually, usually, I do this is like a practice that I have across the channel. So let's say I order a Sweetwater guitar, any random guitar, whatever. If I'm buying it for myself, whatever, doesn't matter.
sure,
Um, I typically unbox them live, like in a live stream,
sure.
um, so that these kinds of things don't happen. And the timing was weird. I think when the package came and I was in a hurry, we were in the process of doing a bunch of stuff. So I literally just grabbed the tripod, threw it in the living room, and I did it. Um, so my impatience, to tell you the honest truth, my impatience bit me in the butt because if I had just said, you know what, I'm going to wait till tomorrow, we're going to do this during a live stream, none of this would
Mhm.
have been a conversation because that is the mistake I made because that's the way we usually do it. But man, I will never intentionally purchase a counterfeit guitar ever.
Can you
Not
see,
whatsoever.
Dylan? Can you understand where people who think that you did know that it was going to be that there was a high probability of it saying Gibson on the headset? Can you understand
Sure.
where those people are coming from?
Yeah, but here's the thing. I don't care.
That's fine.
I
You don't
I
have
don't
to.
care. And here's why. I don't do this for clicks. So what a lot of people also don't understand about our channel is that I'm not going to create content um for the purpose of uh for like the clickbait thousands of views deal. I just don't do it. Um And that is borne out if, I'm not going to show you my analytics, but if I showed you my analytics, literally, I have, so let me just give you a little inside baseball here. I make pickups for a living. Okay. I
Mhm,
own a guitar parts company that has a YouTube channel, and we use that YouTube channel to promote our products and to talk about what we do so that we actually create brand relationship, which
mhm,
i.e. honesty, so that people um, trust our products. And we've been doing it for 11 years. I support my family with it. This is what we do. So, I have no reason or any desire to ever be dishonest with anybody because it would just hurt my business in general. So, intentionally being dishonest like that is just not even in my vocabulary because it would hurt my business. I don't care about the YouTube videos as far as like thousands of views or whatever, and I don't do it for clicks because what I've learned over the last 11 years or so is that if I have basically all I care about is what's the easiest way to say it? So, what I care about is a general volume. So, if each of my videos does about this much,
mhm,
and overall, I have an overall, and I'll tell you what it is, it's 250,000 views a month. Okay. So, if I have 250,000 views a month, um, I stay in business. So
mhm.
I don't, and it's taken me 11 years to get 106,000 subscribers. So the explosive growth thing, the clickbait thing, all of that stuff has just never even been on my radar because uh, what you don't know about me is that I've been an entrepreneur for 35 years. This is my ninth business um, that I've built up and sold and built up and sold, and of course I'm keeping this one. It's got my name on it. So everything is reputation, right? Like everything is honesty. Everything is, especially with YouTube, especially because it can go so bad so quickly, obviously. So that's what I do. That's how I build the thing. So I have zero incentive to be dishonest with anybody. I have zero incentive to go for an explosive video, because here's what happens. This is what happens with this. This is what I actually, now I wish I didn't even make the video for one reason. And that is because it brings out a bunch of people that aren't going to be your clients anyway. So all of the people that um, think I'm a snob because I have a custom shop, Gibson, for example, all the people who think I'm lying, even though I'm not, all those, none of those people are going to be my customers anyway. And it just
Sure.
creates this entire headache, right? So actually, I don't like this kind of video. And actually, I didn't intend for it to get this big. A, um, it was literally a curiosity. Because I'd been talking to my friend Matt at Texas Toast Guitars, and we were like, one of these days, one of us is just going to have to buy one of those cheap guitars because people talk about them all the time, and we're just going to have to see, you know. So it was literally just, and I dismissed the idea, but then when it came up in my Facebook feed,
We,
boom.
sorry.
So so I don't have a reason to lie to anybody, and I wouldn't. I haven't ever. And if you believe that,
I mean,
fine. And if you don't, I
Dylan,
don't care.
Dylan, listen, you're telling me I have no reason not to believe you in anything you're saying. What I will say is the video coming across somebody who's been in the guitar business for so long and who knows enough about the guitar business to be able to say, I did not have any idea that this could possibly have a Gibson logo on the headstock. I find personally difficult to believe. I believe everything you're telling me,
Fine.
except for that one thing. And let me ask you a question.
Mhm.
This is an honest, just I want to, I don't even know if I should ask you this because it might come across the wrong way. But my question is, was the unboxing the first time that box was opened?
Yes. Yeah.
All right. The reason I'm asking the question, right, and not being disingenuous here, is that because I've ordered guitars from China and I've had seven, eight of them through my desk at some point. I have friends who've sent me pictures of theirs. They're unboxing everything. Every single one, when they open the box, the whole entire guitar is in that cellophane wrapping that was only on the headstock and the neck on your guitar. So
Mm.
I think that is also adding questions to people's mind where they're watching the video. You don't know that it's going to have Gibson. It's the only part of the guitar that's covered. The rest of the guitar looks like you would have seen it on the ad. So from my point of view, when I saw that, I was like, hey, something's not right. So I'm just kind of trying to explain. That's why I asked a question.
Yeah.
That's why I had questions in the first
Yeah.
place, why I left my comment. Now, is it possible for you to share the Temu link or like the listing on Temu so that people can see the same pictures that you would have seen? Because that will
Yeah.
clear it up straight away.
No, absolutely. So I tell you what. Um well, let's just do this right now. Hang on. Because when I ordered, I have them right here. Because when I ordered, and just FYI, just so you know, I ordered this guitar on March 30th at 9:08 a.m. And that is when I took these screenshots. Okay, so I
Right.
didn't do this now. You know what I mean? I didn't do
Yeah,
this
I get you.
now and
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? For that purpose, because I was like, this would be fun to just show that this is, hang on, the only thing I'm going to do here is it's in a picture. It's on Facebook, so one of my friends is just below it, so I would just want to screenshot his name out.
sure.
And then let's do this. I think I can. And we'll just do this right now. I'll just show you. Do you ship to Germany? Yes. Okay. I think I can just drop this on the screen right here. Yeah. So this is what I saw. This is literally, oops. Of course, it didn't screenshot it out. Uh, this is the screenshot of the ad that I saw. That's it.
Okay, I'm not seeing anything, so
Oh, you're not? Oh,
it's
hang on.
you know,
Oh, okay. You might not be able to see it
it's okay.
the way my software is going, but if you were when you watch this, like if you watch this tomorrow,
Yeah,
like when I play it in the thing,
sure.
then you will be able to see it. Basically, it's
Okay.
literally what I showed. You know, remember when I went over there and showed that angle of just kind of like the
Yeah.
guitar sort of like this? That's what I'm showing you right here. And that is the screenshot that I took on March 30th. So, yeah, that was it.
Okay. And when you saw the guitar, the listing didn't have multiple photos showing like
No, it was
different
literally
angles, headstocks, all that.
no, because I don't have the app. So,
Okay.
when I uh click on when I clicked on the Facebook ad, it's like go and download the app. You know what I mean? Like
All right. Yeah. Okay.
it like linked to say go and download the app, and I wasn't going to do that. So that's when I was just like, hey, Leslie, my wife, I was like, you already have this
Sure.
app. Can you just order this for me?
Okay.
Um, yeah. So it genuinely was like just an innocent thing. I was
Okay.
like, that's interesting, and because I have a collection, I love juniors, so I have a bunch of them. So it was like,
Yeah.
this would be kind of fun, and
Hey
it
man,
was a
there's nothing
genuine
wrong with owning a
curiosity.
custom shop, Junior. That's pretty
Dude, it's
cool. And
fantastic.
people who
Yeah.
don't think so, they're just that's just jealousy from a lot of people, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But like I think it would have been a great video to do comparison between the cheapest possible version of something and then like custom shopper. That'd be really cool. It would be a great video. So yeah, absolutely take your thing. I thought it was the reason I clicked on it was I saw Temu guitar versus Gibson Custom Shop. Temu wins. I was like,
Yeah.
how is this gonna happen? And obviously, then it's because the headstock didn't break,
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
which,
see, and
which is
that's the
good. Like,
thing. Like, I just thought it was funny, and I
yeah,
think what happens a lot of times, and this does happen with my content. Okay. I will be, here's the other thing I'll be 100% honest with you about. I'm a little irreverent about this kind of stuff because I think that people, they make what should be a hobby and fun into some sort of religion that, like, if you violate their belief system, then you are the devil.
yeah,
And you know what I mean? And I just don't
yeah,
feel like that. I've been playing since I was a kid. Like, I've been playing for 40 years, man, like over 40 years. And I'm like, my dad was in the music business. This has been my entire life. But I also know that there's a sense of humor about it. I also know that it's not that important on the,
yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I don't. So I was like, this would be funny. I'm just going to drop it in the kitchen. Um, and see what happens, like, and literally that was in the moment too. I was like, What else am I going to do?" Like, I don't know. And
mm,
so, of course the thumbnail comes up after, like, this is where I suck at this. Everybody tells you you're supposed to come up with your thumbnail ahead of time. I don't usually. I'll make the video and then take
yeah.
whatever
Me
the
too. Yeah,
moment is from that. You're not really supposed to do that. Like Mr. Beast says, plan the thumbnail
yeah,
ahead of time and then
yeah,
plan your video around it. Like, I suck at that. So, um, so again, that was a genuine thing too. I was like, hey, I have an idea. And I ran over
yeah,
in the kitchen and we dropped in the kitchen. Um, so like all of this stuff is literally, this is how I shoot my videos. I mean, I don't, probably one of the reasons why I don't have a million bajillion subscribers is A, I don't lie to people. I don't do it for clickbait. And B, I don't plan very well. I'm just like, the video that's coming out at 4 o'clock today, I
mhm,
shot this morning. I'm not one who is like, because I'm busy. I have 200 pickups to make a month. So people are, I can understand. So here's what I'll give you. I
sure,
understand in 2025. But here's what I want to parse this with. I understand in 2025 why people would think that what I was doing was disingenuous.
okay,
Not because I would lie to anybody,
sure,
but because that has been the norm in culture. So that's why I don't care and I'm not going to take any blame for it because
sure,
I'm an honest person.
mhm,
Therefore, uh, I don't care what you think if you don't think I'm honest. But I do get, because other people are dishonest about this stuff, why you would question what I did. I do get that. Um, that being said, I didn't lie to anybody. You know what I mean?
sure,
And whether you choose to believe that or not, that's totally fine. I don't. And what I will say, and this, speaking of things that I probably shouldn't say, but I'm going to say because I say what I think. If you think I lied, I don't need your views. I don't need your money.
Sure. Yeah. No.
You know what I
Hey,
mean?
listen.
Like,
Yeah, we're all in that boat.
you know
Absolutely.
what I
There's
mean? So I don't
people on
need you
my
to buy my
channel, man.
pick.
I've done the same thing. I've been
Yeah,
like,
I don't.
you know
Yeah,
what? Just don't watch my videos. I don't care.
yeah, I don't care.
So I get you.
And
I get you on that.
the clickbait thing,
Hey, there's
if
nothing wrong with
if you
it.
clicked it, it's your
Yeah.
fault. Don't
Well,
feel violated by me because you clicked it.
oh wait, listen, I have no problem with clickbait. I actually quite enjoy it, and I think it's useful. And yeah, you're 100% right. But like I think using clickbait titles and thumbnails and stuff, I think it's good fun. Like I don't really have a problem with it.
As long as it's, to me, it's in fun. Like dropping the guitar in the kitchen was funny.
Yeah. Yeah, it
And
was.
it was in the, I said the exact words that were in both titles, the clickbait,
Mm,
the thumbnail, and in the title of the video, in the video. So the definite, and I think this is the other thing, is that people throw around clickbait because they feel like they got took or they wasted
yeah,
their
probably.
time. But the definition of clickbait is if you put something in the thumbnail or in the title to get someone to click on the video and that is not in the video. That's the definition of clickbait.
Okay.
I never, ever, ever do that. So yes, I will put something in the title to make you click the video, and but it
Sure.
will always be in the video. I will always be honest with my viewers. That's 100%. It goes through everything. The whole honesty with viewers goes through everything.
Yes.
And the other thing too, and the reason I feel very strongly about this is, yeah, okay, so after 11 years, we only have like 107,000 subscribers, right? But we built a business around it. I can feed my family. And one of the things that we do is I do 2 live streams every week where
Mhm.
you are welcome to come and challenge me in the chat. We do it every week. And I let people ask, like, for example, on Thursday nights on our live stream, we talk for an hour about guitar stuff. You can ask me any question you want. I guarantee that somebody this Thursday, like this week, the
Y-
week after
Yeah.
this video, um, the week following this Temu debacle, um, will be asking me about this Temu thing. They probably
Sure.
will challenge me the same way, and I will be like, "Yeah, I'll 100% be honest with you. We can have the. I will talk out loud. You can ask questions in the chat. We will be 100% transparent about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. That's
and we
fair.
do that every week with everything, and then we do an off-topic hour where we let everybody ask questions about personal stuff. So I try to stay
Great.
as transparent on many levels. Last week we talked about cost of parts, how we run our business. I mean, I try to be as transparent with everybody as possible. So, you know, it, and the downside with a video like this is that you get a lot of new viewers who are not familiar with who I am
Mhm.
and what we do. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
That's
And
fair.
so it then it invites this kind of,
Yeah.
you know,
I think what it is, Dylan, and I appreciate you taking the time to talk
yeah,
about it with
for
me.
sure.
But I think what it was is that a lot of people were like, "Come on, everyone knows Team of Guitars," and I get your explanation
I
makes
don't.
sense. All right, your explanation makes sense. I could see your side of it absolutely. But watching the video, having watched maybe 20% of your content for the last 5 years,
Yeah.
maybe 4 years, I don't know. Like I kind of have a rough idea who you are. I kind of know a lot of the stuff you've been talking about here, but for me, I was like, how can you not know that question? That's
Yeah.
where they come from.
That
And
is
I think
fair.
that's where a lot of it came from. I think us having this conversation will go a long way to people saying, oh, hey, that makes sense. Fair enough. I certainly feel like, my opinion has changed on the whole matter. So
Well,
that's
dude, I
that.
appreciate
I,
it.
I
I mean, I
still
appreciate the
find
time
it
too.
I still find it crazy that you didn't know, but I absolutely accept that you didn't know. So,
Yeah. And
that's just
I'll tell you something else, Dave. I wanted my wife did not want me to do this.
sure.
Um, because she's like, you're just opening your she did not say the words, but I could see the look on her face. She's like, you're just opening yourself up to Like dealing, you're not a hater, but you know, like dealing with
Yeah,
haters when you shouldn't deal with haters. You know what I mean? Like that kind of thing.
sure, I get that.
And I was like, no, I want to do this because I have said for 11 years, uh, if you challenge the science of anything I say on my channel, if you challenge the work ethic, if you challenge anything, and you are a man or woman enough to have an actual intelligent conversation like you and I are, we're not yelling at each other and we're not pissed and we're
Yeah,
not, I,
we're
I'll have
grown-ups.
a beer. I'd have a beer with you after this. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, yeah, whatever. And we talk about whatever else. I don't care. Um, I'm all about making friends with this stuff, even if it's a disagreement to start with.
sure.
So you are the first person in 11 years to ever take me up on this. So I was like, I
Well,
am going to follow through with this because I love that you did it. I genuinely love that you did it. And so that's why I did. Because I'm like, this is super cool. I
yeah,
don't want people calling me, for those of everybody else that's watching this, I don't want people freaking reaching out to me every 15 minutes. I don't have time for it. But
yeah,
in the spirit of what we're doing here and in these circumstances and what we were talking about and all the stuff we're talking about, I love it. So
yeah.
I'm glad you did.
Hey man, listen, we were on two different points. We can just talk about it and come together. And
That's
I
great.
think no need for all the other BS. We
Yeah.
figured it out, and I think
Yeah,
that's
man.
okay. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you go, Dylan, because I got some stuff to do myself here. I'm in Ireland,
Hey.
so it's
Yeah.
getting to the end of the day. But
Oh, you
I
are in
appreciate you, man.
Ireland. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Right on, dude.
yeah.
Well, thanks. I will air this tomorrow. Don't air this before me if you don't mind. I'm going to air
Right,
this
no problem.
tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern time.
Okay,
I'm going to basically, it's going to be part of my podcast. I'm going to toss to it and just
sure,
say, hey, this is really cool. This is a thing that I'm just going to literally talk about how awesome this was. I love it.
right,
So, and I'm not cutting anything, even this part. So I'll just put the whole
sure.
thing up. So,
Absolutely. I appreciate it, Dylan. Listen, I appreciate your time, appreciate your honesty, and
no,
thank you so
no
much
problem.
for hanging out. Yeah, throw in my channel name if you don't mind as well,
Oh,
so we can.
dude, for sure. 100%. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank
All
you so
right, I'll see
much.
you soon, Dylan. Thanks, man. Take care.
See ya.
Bye bye.
So there you go. What did you think? I thought that was awesome. Man, if you could have intelligent conversations like that about anything that you disagree about guitar stuff, about anything in the comments, it would be so awesome, man. So I mean, it's not like we have to do it live. I mean, why can't we just be that nice all the time? I don't think, um, you know, I don't know. I don't even care. I just thought it was awesome. I always thought it was awesome that he reached out to do it. And let's see here real quick. So there was a few people who asked a couple of questions that I want to talk about based on this. And if you have other guitar questions and other stuff, I knew that take about 30 minutes of our deal tonight. So, okay, Hank Hall. He says, if you don't care about clicks, then why put the video out after you discovered it was a counterfeit and not scrap the whole thing? I think you care because you built up the video the day before. Well, again, that goes back to, I said I was going to do it, so I'm going to do it. I'm not going to not do something. I'm not going to say I'm going to do something and then not do it. Why is my phone ringing? Okay. And it's something that we were wanting to do on the channel. And here's the thing that I'm not doing. We're not going to make any more videos about it. We're not going to do any more tests on it. We're not going to do, somebody in the comments brought up lead. So I bought a lead testing kit. And it didn't come up with anything. So I didn't make a video about it. Like, that guitar is done. It's back in the box and I'm running it to UPS in the morning. So like we're not doing anything else with it. We're not trying to exploit that thing for anything else at all whatsoever. But I think it was a story that needed to be told. I think that people who buy these guitars, knowing that they're counterfeits, I mean, I'm not going to tell you what to do. I'm not going to not be friends with you, but dude, you're not cool. Also, I think on the whole, it was an excellent conversation to have about cheap guitars in general. People give me a hard time about not featuring cheap guitars on this channel. And the bottom line for me is I'm going to dream something and I'm going to do something. I've done that in my entire life. And I have no aspirations about a Harley Benton. I have no aspirations about a Firefly. I have aspirations about a Martin D28 and about a custom shop Fender that I don't have. I really want one. And a custom shop Gibson that I do have that took me 30 years to get. You know what I mean? Like, there is a story. It's not that you just have a bunch of guitars because you have a bunch of money. It's because I don't. It's you spent your entire life, with a goal in mind, and you went and you got it. And that's what's important to me. And I don't see that in all those cheap guitars. So that's not where I spend my money or my time. Let's see. I did not, and somebody was talking about the views that I expected. Here's what I'll tell you. I'll be 100% honest with you with the amount of views I expected. I thought that this video would do about 10,000 views over about 48 hours. That's a big video for me. I thought it would do about that. I had no idea that it was going to do what it was going to do. Just no idea at all. I was hoping for 10,000 views over 48 hours. That's what I was hoping for. And when you look at 10,000 views, that's about, if you were talking about revenue, to just, again, be super transparent, I think revenue, 10,000 views for me right now would be about like $30. So the video financially was never going to pay for itself anyway. It was a thing that I was going to do for fun. And I think that's another thing that people don't understand is when I spend money on this channel, I don't make it back. Like, we don't have Mr. Beast money, right? We don't have, when Cletus McFarlane buys a Cadillac Escalade and put wheels on it and gets a bunch of sponsors for it and stuff, he makes that money back because that video gets 5 million views. When I spend $200 or $500 on a video with a guitar, and I make, that month I make $75 on that video, it doesn't make the money back. So, it's never about that for me. So that's something that people really need to understand. They don't know how this works is really what it comes down to. We got a super chat from Tazzy Tim. He says, from Tazzy Tim, very articulate and well defended, Dylan, sanity number one. I appreciate that. Here's something that I really feel strongly about as well, is that I don't have anything to defend. People say that all the time. Well, you're trying to justify the fact that you spent such and such on. I don't justify anything to anybody. So here's what I do. If I like it and I want it, that's all the justification I need. What I spend my time and money doing, on my personal time, has nothing to do with you. I mean, really, when it comes down to it, your expectations of me have nothing to do with my reality. So, and I live by that. So it's just something to think about, that we should do for each other and with each other and think about this. I was very glad that Dave was thoughtful. Like, he prepared for that. And I really appreciated it. I thought it was awesome. Since it's been brought up in the chat, I have a 5 or 6 year old Wolf guitar. I think they are called AIO now, Korean with great modern specs. I can't even believe the love. No, that's cool, dude. I dig it. Yeah. And so here's the other thing too. I personally am not interested in a lot of those. Okay. Since we're being super transparent about this, let me just give you a little thought process on this. The guitars are probably fine. And every guitar in every price point serves a great purpose, right? So if there is a $300 Harley Benton that somebody really gets some enjoyment out of, then that's awesome. And chances are they're going to call me and buy pickups from me anyway, and they're going to put them in there. I think that's great. It's super cool. Like that's awesome. Because they find enjoyment and inspiration from that instrument. I don't. That's why I don't do it. We just have different interests. The thing that also sort of turns me off to it is, I'm just going to say this as plainly as possible. My Gibson Custom Shop is the best junior out there right now because it's amazing and because it's the real thing. Okay. It's perfect. It's so good. I absolutely love it. Plus, it's the real thing. So no other copy, no other anything, in my estimation, for what I care about, because I like the real thing, is going to be as good as the real thing. Okay? So I want the real thing. That's what I care about. I want the real thing. And if the real thing sucks, I won't buy any of them. I'm not going to be like, well, this Harley Benton's just as good as this custom shop one because the custom shop one came with a sharp fret. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to address the problem and have the real thing. You know, I just really care about that. Would be great to see 3-Chord Dave's channel linked in the description. I was hoping he was going to be here and be able to chat in the comments. Hank, you're really hanging on to this, aren't you? This is an example of everyone has their own truth. You told TCD you would never purposely put a counterfeit guitar on your channel, but you did, full stop. You just have a way to rationalize it in your own head. I mean, think whatever you want, you know, that's fine. You can feel free to walk away from this and be like, I don't like that guy. You'll find out right now how much I don't care about that. And you're still here. So if you were really bothered by it, you would have left 30 minutes ago. You know what I mean? Or yesterday, or the day before, or whenever you were that's the other thing. The false offense that everybody takes. I hate this. I'm going to delete you. I'm going to block your channel. That's what we got, a bunch of that. I'm going to block your channel because I don't like this video. Well, guess what? You can't block a channel on YouTube. I don't know if you know that or not. And Hank, let me give you a little tip here. When you comment on somebody's stuff, the YouTube algorithm shows you more of their stuff. So the best way, and I'm just going to give you a tip for everybody watching, okay? If you never want to see my stuff again, disappear. Don't watch it. Don't stop on it when you're scrolling past. Don't comment on it. Don't like it. Do not acknowledge it. If you don't acknowledge it, then YouTube won't show it to you. But if you acknowledge it somehow with some sort of interaction, YouTube will show you more. That's how I know you're all fake. You know, if 3-Chord Dave has 7 or 8 of these, he could have a good one. I don't want to bag on him. I really think he was doing the killer, doing the right thing. I thought it was awesome. You think I'm taking offense? I'm just debating. But there's nothing to debate. I'm not a debater. I don't care. I don't care. I mean, I could just hit a button and make you disappear too. So, we can do that too. It's whatever. Contrary opinion doesn't mean you're taking offense. But here's the problem is when you're implying dishonesty in public, basically you're calling me a liar, which I don't really like because I'm not. So, there's that. Hank needs a group hug. Let's all give him a group hug. Let's do it. Sounds good to me. Or we could just give him a group ban. I mean, we could do that too. Well, hey, this was fun, man. Dude, let me say, I don't even care what the subject is about. I thought it was awesome. And And I love this. I absolutely love that. So that's why we call this the Just Gonna Say It podcast, because you can do this every week. We can come and talk about this stuff. Don't call me a liar. That'll get you banned real quick. But other than that, we can talk about whatever. I think it's great. I will say, I'm not going to do these videos anymore. I'm not going to do cheap guitar stuff probably. I mean, we might do, okay, let's we've got about 10 minutes. Let's really dive into this so Hank doesn't think I'm lying to him. Okay. I'm not going to spend any more time on the Chinese garbage. Okay. Number one, I'll for sure not buy anything from Temu again. What you may see on the channel still at some time, because I think it's important for the community, is there may be some myth busting stuff with inexpensive guitars, but not cheap guitars. Okay. So we might still do, obviously we're going to do like Squire stuff, and we're going to stick with the main reputable brands. Like, we're going to do all that. Obviously, we've been doing that for 11 years. So that's not going to stop. But man, short of calling it an all-out mistake, buying the guitar on Temu and putting it on the internet might have been. I mean, I'm not doing it again. So you can be confident that you won't see that stuff again. No matter what. So there you go. That's what I got. Let's see. I saw the team. I'm not going to stop watching. Who cares? Yeah. This is for fun and advertising. Exactly. Maybe I misread him. I recollect him saying he had a bunch of them. Yes, I get the feeling, and I don't mean this in any kind of negative way, because maybe that's the goal of his channel, but I get the feeling he likes cheap guitars. And I think that is one thing that happens is, and I notice it a lot. So let's say like yesterday's video, I used my Gibson custom shop, but I didn't say it in the video, but everybody knew it was a real Gibson, right? So people will get in the comments and be like, well, why didn't you just buy this cheap guitar? Why didn't you buy just that blah, blah, blah guitar? That guitar is too expensive, blah, blah, blah. Why don't they just redesign it? All these questions. And all I can think is, in my head, is you must be a big Harley Benton guy, because it exposes pretty quick, right? Like, which is fine, which is totally fine. But that personality and that mentality of like, I don't know. So people will, I guess it's reverse snobbery is what it is. People will accuse me of having a custom shop Gibson and being a snob, but you are a cheap guitar snob. It's no different. Except that I will still talk to you, but you won't talk to me because I have a custom shop. You know what I mean? Did Leslie want like a I told you, I didn't, I told you? No, she's not an I told you so person. Not at all. She's awesome. She is like, hey, how long is it going to take me to get that money back for that return? Because we're not sure how Temu works. So we're going to have to we're going to have to make sure that we handle that. But other than that, it's pretty fun. Pretty fun. Awesome. Well, hey, man, this is great. Thanks for hanging out. Y'all are great. I hope you have a good time. And we will talk tomorrow probably. I've got a video coming out probably tomorrow about phase. So like how to hook up your pickups correctly. So that'll be a cool thing. So I think we've got that coming tomorrow. So I hope you guys have a good night, and we will see you then.